Hey there, I wanted to make a quick video for this new Pico Plus with Autofire that I'm selling on ineedhemp.com. It's the only Pico Plus that you can buy with Autofire that I'm pretty sure of. So if you get one of these, this is the instructions for it, pretty much in a nutshell. So to turn it on and off, you click it 5 times real fast on this main button right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And see, when I press the buttons, it's off right now. So while the unit's off, there's a plus and a minus button on the bottom. If you hold both of them down at the same time, you can choose which way you want the screen to go. So if you're like right-handed or left-handed, you can choose. I like it facing this way. So, and if you hold this main button down and this plus button right here, you'll see this mode called TCR Mode. TCR Mode is like the only mode we have on this is M1 mode. A lot of the other batteries have M1, M2, M3 for different coils. I just wanted to keep this Pico as simple as possible. So what you can do is set this value. Right now I have the V5 on there, and I like it around 200, 180 to 200. For the Quest Lightning, people like it around 110 to around 130. And for the V4, the TCR can change, but it's usually anywhere from 200 to 300. So we're going to go ahead and I'll show you one more feature. If you hold down this minus button and the plus at the same time, it'll tell you how much voltage your battery has. Now I provide Sony VTC6s with mine, so you should see a good amount of voltage usually. This thing's not fully charged, so it's probably putting off a little bit less. So I clicked it back on with 5 clicks. Now when you press this main button 3 times real fast, 1, 2, 3, it'll give you the choice of temperature mode or wattage mode. If you're cleaning it or whatever, I like to use it in wattage mode. All these coils have a certain amount of wattage that they can take. You never want to blow the coil. You never want to use too much wattage for the coil that you have. There's always a maximum amount of wattage it's allowed to use to get to temperature. Always be careful with that number. So like for this coil, we're gonna put it in temperature mode, 1, 2, 3. And it's an M1. My value was set to 200 when I had it turned off. Now, to set the wattage, you're gonna hit this button 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll see it's 38 watts. 38 watts is the maximum amount of watts I wanna allow for this coil. And I think it's like 27 for the Lightning Cup, and the V4 is 33 watts, the donut coils. So also to set the seconds, you hold both of these buttons down at the same, or this button while the unit's on, and the plus button, and you can see you can set the time for auto fire. So I like it at 60 seconds. Anywhere between 50 and 60 is my personal preference, but whatever you want, you know. And then for starting auto fire, you would just double click this button. Watch, 1, 2. You can see it's like starting to heat up, and it'll go through 60 seconds, and you can see the amount of watts that it uses to get to the temperature and try to like get to that temperature. And once it reaches temperature, this will flash like the temperature that you've preset it to. I think this was set to 500 or 480 I had it set to. So every time it hits that, it's just like peaking and trying to hit that temperature and just balancing back and forth to try and keep it at that temperature. The TCR number and value helps you keep this temperature right. If there was a puddle still at 480, I would turn it up, the TCR up. If it charted at 480, I would turn the TCR down, just so I know 480 is like that perfect burn where I can swab it up and it leaves just a little tiny bit to swab up, and it doesn't char my bowl, and it's not really a puddle left either. So let's see, what else am I forgetting on this? If I hold this plus button and the minus button, that will lock this ohm reading. I always like to see what the resistance is of the coil, but a lot of people like to lock it and just have a constant temp and just a constant usage, but it's always good to have this resistance unlocked to just see what your resistance is of your coil. It'll tell you if it needs to be cleaned or if there's a connection problem. On this V5 cup, 0.48 is a pretty good resistance, but they can range anywhere from 0.44 or 0.43 to all the way to 0.51. And basically that's how you use this Pico Plus. Hope you're having a good day. Take care.